directorial
documentaries.
debut.
Yeah. Is it really?
Well, oh yeah, sure. I mean, I produced a number of films. I produced like 30, 35 films and TV shows by now. But, you know, and maybe you've done some second unit directing on a show and things like that. And you just kind of like, you realize like you have enough experience on one side to be able to put all the pieces together and kind of, when you do an edit of something, how it feels and if the story's good, and you work with other people to shape your ideas and see if you think it's right, and then they critique it or whatever. And the collaborative sport of filmmaking, the top of the pyramid is directing, trying to do it right. So
Mhm.
it's something I've always wanted to do. They go to shows together. I mean, like, you can't write this stuff, you know what I mean? It's like some of these people are just such that you have to you just like let it go. You let the camera roll, and you go fishing with Jessie, who's this trauma nurse and works 15-hour days, and only her relaxing time is either crowd surfing or fishing, carrying a 45 in her waistband. And so this is mid-America, man, at its finest. And the music is just, it cuts across, and that's why John Kasich shows up. He's a Republican governor, but his kids love to rock and he loves to rock, and he shows up for the Chili Peppers and Live and bands like that. And it's not about politics, it's about music, and music cuts through everything. And I wish we had more things like it that would cut through all the bullshit in this country, because it can be a really healing and together force. Rock has for a long time been a male dominated sausage fest. And it's really nice to see that, people like Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm and Maria Brink of In This Moment, and some of these female rockers are really starting to make an impact, because it's not just about the men. There's a lot of women that like to see themselves on that stage, and spending time with Lizzie Hale in San Francisco and seeing that fan like say, hey, I wanted to save myself, be my first show, be Hailstorm. Like, that was like, to witness that. And Lizzie and I are going to do the Q&A on Thursday's premiere. We talked about it. It's a really special moment for her and for me to be able to film. You're all in on this kind of music. And as I moved away from it, when I got into college radio, it became alternative music or singer-songwriter or New Orleans funk. And then Gary brought me back. He says, hey, I booked Metallica for our 10th anniversary show. Why don't you come out and film some stuff, and let's see what we can put together. And we literally bootstrapped the idea of this fandom documentary while we were at a festival. So it was, and that's the beautiful about the medium about documentaries. You can do that shit. You can really just find it and build it. Like, we didn't expect to have a thing about drugs and alcohol. That was never part of the original concept. And then literally the morning we were supposed to interview Chris Cornell, he died the night before. So the first conversations you have to have with Lars and all these guys we lined up interviews is not like, oh my God, isn't rock and roll so great? Thanks for coming in. It was like, dude, tell me about your relationship with Chris.